What is going on? It's your girl with Remy Q Studios, and today we're going to be talking about The Dark Knight. I know I'm late, but since the new movie came along, I thought maybe I would finally watch it as y'all have requested. So let's get started. So, I did not watch The Dark Knight until now because I'm a huge Heath Ledger fan, and I think he was one of the most underrated actors. And he died way too young, and I just think he was just a quality actor.
Sure, you've thought about me naked, huh?
And I feel like if I watch this movie, then that's all I would see him as is the Joker. And I didn't want to see him as a psychopath because I've heard, that the Joker was very dark in this one, as he is in most of the comics. But when I watched the movie, I mean, right from the beginning, that was not... The makeup, I'm sure, helped, but, I mean, he plays this role to such a T. I mean, he is just an absolutely sadistic psychopath. Dude is, crazy. And I think... he is, the worst part of humanity. And I think that was a really interesting plot that they did, because not only did they make Joker crazy, they basically... It was almost like a metaphor for humanity. The Joker is the honest of the worst part of humanity. What makes people go, oh my god, I can't believe people, they're so disgusting. And he really takes that embodiment of the worst part of humanity. Oh yeah, everybody's your friend until they're not, and then all of a sudden, when it comes to times get really tough, he only sees the bad part. And I don't know what happened to the Joker in this specific, timeline, or this blah, blah, blah. This specific Joker to make him so twisted, or if he was born twisted. But homeboy is he really is dark. It is just crazy. And I really appreciated that they made him it was almost I don't know how to explain. He was so evil, and you hated him so much, but then you're like, oh yeah, people do think like that. With the fairies, that was 100% in real life what would have happened. People have been like, oh, just blow up the other people. And I honestly don't know if that was a realistic, where they were like, yeah, we can't blow anything up. And I really appreciated that the prisoners were real quick, that guy was like, I'm gonna do what you can't do, and then threw it out the window, and you're like, oh snap, I didn't see that coming. And I appreciate that. And then the civilized people were like, we have to kill them, they're gonna kill them, they're bad guys, they don't, and it was just the worst part of humanity. And of course, in the end, the best part of humanity wins, and nobody blows up. I really appreciate... I just thought it was it really is a good story. I finally decided I have to watch this before I go see the new one, because everybody says that you can't accurately watch it unless you've seen The Dark Knight. I don't appreciate it that in the end the girl dies, because, you know, he's a superhero. He's supposed to save her. It's the whole point of the movies. Like, yes. But The Dark Knight was a very dark film, obviously. I like their portrayal of the Joker. I like the fact that they were trying to work for, like, we need somebody that doesn't have a mask. And, you know, it's so funny because, you know, the prosecuting attorney, his name is Harvey Dent, and I was like, man, why does that sound familiar? I feel like he's a bad guy. Why does that sound familiar? And then, of course, as soon as his face got blown up, I was like, oh, that's right, he's Two-Face. And it was driving me crazy, because I'm like, why is it, gosh, that name sounds so familiar. And so that was pretty interesting. As far as Christian Bale goes, he did an okay job with Batman. I mean, Bruce Wayne's kind of a dick, and he played that well. The one thing I've never understood about Batman, and a lot of actors have done it, is I am Batman.
Hey, Batman. What's going on?
Hey, Batman. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Nice to meet you, Batman.
I'm Batman.
Batman.
Especially Christian Bale, like, dude. I mean, what does Batman smoke now? I just don't get it. It's like, oh, Batman. It just, every time I heard him talk as Batman, I literally wanted to punch him in the face. I was like, dude, no, stop. Just stop. No. Like, I would have accepted the, you know, the Oliver Queen, like, when he has, like, little voice changer, but the whole, I just like, what? That can't be good for your vocal cords, man. You need to get that checked out. Like, if you're talking like that, it's so bad for your vocal cords. I don't know. But, like, so he did okay. You know, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but, like, you don't have to be able to act and be a Batman. Like, just kind of be a dick when you're Bruce Wayne and then have no emotions. Like, if you can't act, that's the perfect role for you, is Batman. Unless you, like, this one had a very, like, there was only a few Bruce Wayne scenes, so you only have to nail, like, a couple scenes, and the lines are not that hard. You're just a rich dude. Like, whatever. I thought the interaction with Batman and Joker were like, very, very good, because it was very clear, like, he didn't want to kill Batman. Like, he just wanted to play. Like, that was his thing. He was like a big demented child playing these like psychopathic games, and he was having a blast. And, like, the thing is, even if he would have killed Joker, which is what the Joker wanted all the time, then he would have won. Like, his last moments, knowing that he was gonna die, I beat Batman. So it's like one of those things, if he doesn't beat Batman, then he's always in his mind thinking, I'm gonna be Batman. Like, I'm gonna beat him. So that was interesting. I like in the end, because, you know, the Dark Knight, like, you know, I like the original Batman, the Batman with, like, Adam West, and, like, you know, like, just like, hey, you know, guys, yay, kabow. I used to watch it with my dad, and I know that Batman is a very dark character, but I feel like he's gotten so much darker, and DC's always kind of led towards the more dark, like, really gruesome kind of characters, and very bloody, and the good guys don't always win. And then, of course, Marvel, I think, is starting to follow that as well. But I feel like they did a really good job, because, like, I mean, Batman's had a terrible past. He lost both of his parents by murder when he was very young. And I've lost both of my parents, and I was much older, and it was a natural cause, and it's traumatizing. But to lose them in such a tragic way when you're young and not expect it, you know. And so I know that he's very dark for that reason. That's like the starting reason, and I feel like psychologically he's angry instead of sad, and you know, he just bottles everything in. But I appreciate in the end, so I've never thought of him, I know he's a hero, but I kind of always feel like he's also maybe like an anti-villain. I mean, I know that's like a stretch, but like I feel like he's kind of like he's a good guy, but he's kind of he does questionable things sometimes, and you're like, I don't know, Bruce, was that a good guy thing, or kind of like you snapped? And I appreciate the fact that they said you're the hero unless you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And I was like, oh snap, that's really profound. And then towards the end, they were like, oh well, now we have to chase you. And he was like, the kid was like, why are we chasing him, Dad? You know, Commissioner Gordon. And he's like, because, you know, he is Batman. Like, he is. And then he's like, I'm whatever the city needs. And he's like, no, do that. He's like, Henry Dent. Yes. We need him to be the hero. And so he literally let the bad guy become the hero. And of course, he wasn't a bad guy. He just was, you know, traumatized by losing the girl that he loves. And that was the crazy part. It's like, he's like, you don't know what it's like. And I'm like, well, I kind of do. That was my chick. And, you know, I was kind of upset that the girl died, but it is, like, important to the story. And I feel like him saying, you know, I'll be whatever Gotham needs, gave me just a little bit more respect for Batman, because he's kind of hated. Like, cops are like, in DC, it's always about the vigilante justice. You can't do that and all this stuff. And I thought it was really interesting because it was just a really good movie. And I do give it props. It's not one of my favorite movies just because I'm not really into I don't know. It's a good movie. I don't think it's my favorite movie, but I can understand how much love it got because it was a fantastic movie. It was a really good storyline. Christian Bale wasn't awful. You know, and then, you know, Heath Ledger was just, amazing. Now, after watching that movie, I understand why everybody hated Jake Gyllenhaal in the Joker. I thought he did an okay job. I mean, he was like laughy, kind of crazy. Heath Ledger's Joker, psychopath. Homeboy was crazy in like the worst way possible. And I think that's kind of the point, though. I think the whole point is he is like if we didn't have like a conscience, it would be that dude. Like, he just was the worst part of the human soul, and what makes, like, I think it's a metaphor for life, man. No, I don't know. I have no idea, but I feel like there's some sort of psychological metaphor in there about how the human dark. And maybe that's why it is the Dark Knight. Because he's a knight in the darkness. Is that right? Does that sound right? I'm going to go with that. He is the Dark Knight. So he is the knight in the darkness. And he's not the knight in the shining armor. He's definitely not that. And I think this movie gave me a little bit more respect for that. So that's where I'm going to end that. If you haven't seen it, which, let's be honest, nobody else in this entire world has not seen it. Except for probably me, which I am now. I've seen it. So definitely I will check out our Rant and Rave from yesterday. Our Thursday. I don't know when this is going to be released, but wherever it is, I hope y'all have a great day, night, weekend. And I hope to have a rant and review on the new Batman. I'm actually excited to see it, because it has Robert Pattinson in it, and I've heard he's done a really good job, so I guess I'll see. And y'all have a great night, weekend, day, whatever it may be, and hugs and kisses. Bye!